Okay, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Louis Garguilo, Chief Editor of Outsourced Pharma and a member of your conference committee. Thank you all for joining us and welcome to Outsourced Pharma San Francisco 2016. Allow me to start off this morning by framing our mission here the next 2 days. So we belong to an industry defined by the disciplines and challenges of tech transfer and project management, processes, platforms, and scale-ups and downs, quality and regulatory compliance, partner selection and measurement, costs and models for outsourcing, risk assessment and mitigation, customers and patients. These aren't just industry categories. They describe your day-to-day activities, your careers and relationships, and that's the perspective from which we approach our discussions at all of our Outsourced Pharma conferences. But there's another brightly colored thread that's been drawn through our discussion on all of these topics for quite some time now. It's the collective desire for better models of working together, new applications of science, technology, and engineering, for advancements of mind and attitudes, as well as equipment and facilities. Some say pharma itself is weaving this into their supply chains, and we'll take that particular subject up momentarily. But when you come down to it, we are all searching for a new holy grail, call it innovation, or maybe more precisely, co-innovation. How best to define this? I don't know about best, but if you take a moment to look over there on the board, we looked for a simple descriptor. The point is, we're talking about an enabling process by which we can arrive at, but not just arrive at, then go forth and bring into the industry the improved or the new. I believe that's what this conference will be about these next 2 days. How to better develop a process for scaling up an outsourced biologic or small molecule. How to better exchange, mine, and derive shared data and knowledge. How better to create business models and contracts for outsourcing. How better to know if your biotech fits with that CMO or that pharma fits with this CMO. Additionally, and quite literally, we seem in the middle of a mystery. Why hasn't Silicon Valley or the broader technology revolution had more of an influence on our industry like we've seen with almost every other we know? Moreover, there's also a paradox thrown into the mix. We are an industry of scientists and engineers and visionary leaders based on innovation and breakthroughs to bring new drugs reliably to global markets. Think about it. Outsourcing itself, to the degree we practice it today in the pharma and bio environment, is pretty innovative. Why does it seem that now, with a search for more shared innovation between sponsors and service providers, we're not set up to deliver on these newer requests? Well, you are here, and we've devoted this forum to solving some of this together. Already, thanks to the input from so many of you, we've put together an agenda bringing innovation more clearly into our focus here. We've also taken advantage of our location to invite some Silicon Valley and tech partners to our outsourced pharma community to provide us other views and advice. We'll start today with representatives from Acagian, Amgen, Pfizer, and others laying out perhaps a commitment to fostering more co-innovation and working with technology partners. Key is this: more than a few CMOs and service providers have concerns about pharma pushing innovation and the associated costs and efforts onto contract organizations. We'll deal with this too. As I just mentioned, you get to host some technology organizations and innovation thought leaders to help us learn how we can expand the technology parameters of our relationships. One such company we'll hear from is Verizon. Additionally, we'll hear from VC industry on the funding side. We'll talk about bridging cultures of all kinds and hear from people who have been doing just that for many, many years, and the perspectives of people much newer to our industry. We'll learn of some examples of CMOs themselves taking leadership in the challenge to drive technology into the supply chain. And that's just today. Tomorrow, we'll focus specifically on new technologies, on the data deluge, on quality and regulatory implications, continuous manufacturing and single-use equipment, and wind up with an eye to the future. So we have challenges, mysteries, and paradoxes to work on. We'll need everyone's involvement. Along with our learned panelists, we encourage, as always, we actually rely on audience participation during the sessions. So turn my cell phone off. By the way, it says from Jameson Publishing, so it's work-related. No, she knows. She knows. Okay, sorry about that. I was about to say, don't phone, but speak up. Ask questions. Let's get some examples from the audience and join in. We've built plenty of room around the sessions. We only have one session at a time, so everyone, please come to all the sessions. And finally, allow me to extend a thank you to our sponsors. I encourage all of you to visit with each of the sponsors in the room next door and those sponsoring this conference. None of this would be possible without the support of our sponsors. Now we'll take a few minutes to get ready for our first session and get our initial panelists up here with me. In the meantime, if you haven't already, please download or open the Outsourced Pharma app, and please answer at least the first two questions you see there, because we will make use of these questions in a very few minutes. So welcome again, and let's get started by a big round of applause for all of us being here and putting this together.